Hey guys, it's Brainbean here. If you'll notice the back of my setup right now, everything looks a little bit different. That's because I'm moving right now. Well, I just moved, but my office is not unpacked, and behind the camera is boxes and all kinds of disarray, and I'm still getting the studio space and everything all set up. So you have to kind of bear with me, but I figured in the meantime, I still wanted to get a new video up this week for you guys. And I've had people asking me how to get started with YouTube, or tips or my perspective on things. So I thought I'd kind of share with you guys what I learned in my first year of doing YouTube. So the first thing that I recommend when starting a YouTube channel is know what kind of content you're going to create. So if you're going to do gameplay, keep it with gameplay videos. If you're going to do tech stuff, keep it mostly in somewhere in the realm of tech things. If you're going to do comedy, keep it with comedy, that kind of stuff, because you don't want to get subscribers from one type of content and then create, let's say you do tech reviews, right? Okay, so you get one set of subscribers from your tech reviews, and then you do comedy, you're gonna get a different set of subscribers from your comedy stuff that may not be interested in the tech reviews, and vice versa. And you don't want to split your audience like that. So try to keep it cohesive and kind of focus on one genre for your channel. Another thing that's really important is just be you, be yourself. Don't feel like you need to, like put on this big, bold, interesting personality like the YouTubers that are always screaming into the camera, or like having energy is good, and you don't want to be mopey and like, what's up guys, that kind of stuff. But don't feel like you need to assume this other persona. Keep it natural, keep it genuine. People like authenticity, so just be yourself, and part of that comes with being comfortable. And that is another thing I was gonna address as well, is just get comfortable in front of the camera. If that means you're gonna need to sit in front of, in a room in front of a camera for hours practicing and watching back the footage and being like, oh, why do I say my words like that? I don't normally say them that way. Or just, the whole act of talking into a camera is kind of unnatural, right? Even right now, I'm sitting in an empty room with a bunch of soft boxes and lights around me, big shotgun mic overhead, and I'm staring into a lens of a camera and just talking to myself, basically. But I think people tend to get nervous thinking about the potential for the amount of people that are going to be watching them on the other side of that camera. So try not to think about the potentially thousands or millions of people that are going to be watching you, and just realize that you're alone, you're safe, and you don't even have to post the video if you don't want to. So you always have the option of the safety net of going back and watching the content. If you don't like it, don't post it. So just calm down, practice, get used to filming in front of the camera. Now, talking about cameras and equipment and things like that, it's important whenever you start anything, whether it's photography, doing videos on YouTube, audio recording, that kind of stuff, is don't feel like you need to run out and buy the absolute best equipment right off the bat. As long as you have some kind of decent video camera, it really doesn't have to be something that expensive, like $100 to $300 maybe for an entry-level DSLR or video camera. You can start making videos, and I highly recommend not going out and buying the best stuff, because learning to use what you have efficiently is going to benefit you a lot more than going out and buying the absolute best stuff and using a bunch of auto settings and things like that. Excuse me, because that is what's going to help really build up that creativity and thinking about doing things in a different way. So if you're having issues with your audio, then you may change your space a little bit or put some acoustic treatment up. If you're having issues with lighting, you can try filming next to a window or setting up a couple of desk lamps around you. And by doing things this way, you really learn your camera settings and how to really make the most of any situation, because you're that familiar with how to change the different settings on your camera to get a good picture. And then once you're comfortable with that stuff, by all means, go out and buy audio interfaces, go out and buy fancy mics, soft boxes, really high-end camera, all that stuff, but you'll have a really good foundation, and you'll have set up a bunch of different tips and or tricks rather, for ways that you would have filmed stuff with your lesser equipment. And when you do that with your good equipment, you're gonna have a huge advantage over people that just go out and buy the best stuff right off the bat. Now, when you're creating your content, it's important to think about the kind of content that you would want to watch, because if you don't want to watch it, chances are other people are not going to want to watch it either. So for instance, when I started creating my tech reviews and that kind of stuff, the reason that I made them and the reason that I make them the way that I do is because that's what I prefer when I want to seek out information on reviews and stuff like that. I don't like it when there's like a 3 or 4 minute long-winded intro where they don't even get to the product and they just sit there and they talk and they ramble, or they talk about things that are not even related to what they're doing. I want a short, to the point, you know, just tell me about the product, tell me what I need to know, and end it. The video doesn't need to be 10 minutes, so I try to keep mine between 5, maybe 8 at the max. That's my style of making videos. That's what I wanted to see. And I think it's important that, you know, you consider those things. And also, you know, think about it. If you wouldn't search for it and you didn't want to see it, then other people are not going to search for it and want to see it as well. And that's one reason that I went with reviews in general, is because that's content that people actively seek out. So think about things like that too. If you want to do comedy, think about something that people might actively seek out, or at least when you're starting out, to kind of help bring in some more traffic. You know, if there's something that's like a popular trend, as far as, you know, like it used to be rap battles, and now you have different, you know, different types of videos like that. That's a way that you can help pull in a new audience. When you're creating your content, guys, quality is way more important than quantity. And you'll notice I've only put up maybe 1 video a week for the last month, and I like to get 2, maybe 3 videos in, but with moving and all that kind of stuff, there's just no way I would be able to make good videos that are up to my quality standards and put them out in that time. And a lot of times your audience is very, very receptive to that, and they would rather watch quality content than a bunch of garbage that you're putting out regularly, and that can make you lose subscribers, and it can also limit your ability to pull in new subscribers. You know, you think about each new video you make is kind of like putting out more nets all over YouTube, and those are opportunities to grab and pull in new subscribers. And let's say a third of your videos are hastily produced, very bad edited, you know, sloppy, just junk filler videos that you put up to try to make your current subscribers happy. Those aren't working for you to pull in new subs like your other videos are. So just take your time. Don't stress out about uploading content. If you don't think that you can make a schedule like myself, I don't think there's any way right now that I could set like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule and ever be able to live up to it, just with the way my work life and all these things are. So that's why I just upload when I can upload, and I make the best quality videos that I can, and my audience, thankfully, you guys understand that and are incredibly supportive of it. So keep that in mind. After you make your videos, after you've made your videos, it's very important to use proper SEO optimization. If you don't know much about that or why it's important, there's plenty of articles out there. Just Google SEO optimization and they can go over all that stuff, because I could talk about it for hours. I will tell you one trick that I learned that has helped me out a lot when you're doing your tags and things like your tags and doing like compound tags, the big long ones, is first thing I'll do is I'll go into my YouTube search bar, and if I have a video that, let's say we're doing a Corsair K70 Lux review, I'll type in Corsair K70 in the search bar, and then you'll get a huge list populating of all the recommended search options. Take like the top 3 or 4 of those if they're relevant and just immediately put them in your tags. And then you can type out the rest of it, Corsair K70 Lux. And then there might be like Corsair K70 Lux unboxing, Corsair K70 Lux review, Corsair K70 Lux sound test. Take all of these things and just put them right into your tags, because those are the most searched for things and they will help bring you more viewers. You can also use this same trick on Google too. So go to Google and type in Corsair K70 Lux, and it will auto-populate with all of the most popular searches. And you want to have as much of the most popular searches on your video as possible, because that's just going to help bring you in more stuff, right? That's what people are searching for. That's the biggest tip that I found. Like I said, please go and look up SEO optimization just so you can learn more about how the algorithm works, and that will greatly benefit you in the long run, because you need to understand how that works to get people to actually go and watch your videos. Another thing that's just as important as all of that is having a really good high quality thumbnail, because you know, and this is something I need to work on too, because I think my thumbnails are definitely one of my weakest parts of my videos. But you spend, let's say I spend 16 to maybe 20 plus hours working on these videos, and I probably spend an hour making my thumbnails. That's probably not the best way to divvy up my time, because the guy spent 20 hours working on a video. I should be spending just as much time. Well, I mean, 20 hours is ridiculous on a thumbnail, but take your time on your thumbnails, make them look good, because this is what people are seeing to draw them in to watch your video. If the thumbnail's crap and the video's great, it really doesn't matter, because they're never gonna watch the video in the first place. So you need to make an enticing thumbnail. You don't need to make it clickbaity, but it needs to look professional, just as professional, if not more so, than the actual video content that you're making. You also, need to incorporate cards into your videos, and make sure you have a good end screen at the end of all of your videos, just to help bring in more people. That way they'll click on other videos after watching the video that they just watched. You want to keep them on your channel for as long as possible, basically. Now, how do you build an audience and get people to actually watch your content? Social media is a massive, massive tool for the YouTube content creator. You have things like Twitter, you have things like Facebook, Reddit, Instagram, all these different avenues. It's very hard to actively maintain all of them. And that's why a lot of these big channels, I always thought it was ridiculous that people would hire somebody to manage their social media accounts, until I had to actually manage my own, and it is like a full-time job. So if that means you only have to really invest in one or two, I think that's better to do than trying to cast your net too wide and not be able to actively manage all of your social media accounts. I personally mainly only use Twitter, and I use Reddit a little bit. Twitter is really good because it's very easy to share things and just retweet. And if you have interesting thumbnails or videos or funny pictures, or you post things that your audience likes a lot, they're going to share stuff and retweet it a lot, and people will see that on their stuff, and you can get this kind of like viral proliferating effect by having people just share stuff like crazy. So Twitter's really, really good for that. And Reddit is another place that can either make you or it can completely break you. And you need to be very, very careful when you use Reddit. Don't just dump your videos on Reddit. Don't just go to, think like, oh, okay, I made a video about a Razer keyboard. I'm gonna go dump this video on PC Master Race. I'm gonna go dump it on the Razer subreddit. I'm gonna go dump it on Mechanical Keyboard subreddit. People will rip you apart for that. If you are gonna post a video on a subreddit like that, make sure it's relevant and don't just drop it for the views. Actually have a reason for putting it there, and try not to put it with clickbaity titles and stuff like that. Like I said, sometimes Reddit can be really great, and other times Reddit can just completely destroy you. So just be very careful when and how you use Reddit. Okay, so after you've created your new YouTube channel, one thing I highly recommended, this is something I did with this channel as well, is you want to see organic growth. So never do sub for sub, regardless of if it's a new channel or a channel you've been working on forever. Do not sub for sub. All it does is create dead subs, and dead subs don't watch your content. So it doesn't matter if you have 10,000 subscribers. If you're only getting like 150 views per video because all you've done is sub for sub, that looks really bad on your channel, because it just shows that the subs are not interested in the content you're creating. And that's not going to help you when it comes to sponsors. It's not going to help you when it comes to people seeing that. They're not going to subscribe to your channel because they're going to think, well, those people don't even watch it. I'm not going to watch their videos. I won't subscribe. Another thing that I really recommend is don't encourage family members and friends to subscribe to your channel until you reach a certain goal. That way you know that you're not getting people that, while it's good to be supportive and your family say, oh yeah, we'll definitely subscribe to your channel and we'll support your videos and all that. It's great. That's not something I'm saying don't do, but maybe tell them, I want to see if I can get to 100 subs on my own. I want to see if I can get to 1,000 subs on my own. That way I know that my growth has been 100% organic. It's been 100% people that want to watch my videos. And then once you get to that point, you can make for me personally, I didn't tell any of my family or friends that I did YouTube until I broke 1,000 subscribers. And then I made a post on Facebook and I said, hey guys, I'm excited to announce I hit 1,000 subscribers. If you'd like to watch what I've been doing, here's a link to it. Feel free to subscribe and all that good stuff. That way I knew that I had done something on my own that people wanted to see, and it was encouraging and it was motivating, and I knew I did it all myself without my family kind of feeling like they were obligated to subscribe to me, and 100 or 200 Facebook friends all subscribe to you because they feel like they need to. That can create a false sense of growth and how many subscribers you have. And the last couple thoughts I want to leave you guys with is be patient. It can take a really long time for a channel to build up speed, but like I said, just keep the videos quality. Don't lose heart. Nobody is going to become a YouTube star overnight, and you really should have realistic expectations that nobody really is gonna just, like, it's all luck of the draw. It's quality, it's regularly posting content, and it's also, you know, like I said, it's getting lucky and staying current and producing videos that are hot topics and that kind of stuff. Also, you know, keep a reasonable expectation for the type of genre you're doing. Like for me, tech videos are they're popular, but they're nowhere near as popular as comedy or music or these types of things. So keep your goals reasonable. For me personally, I mean, I've far exceeded my expectations. I had a bet with my wife in the first 6 months that I wouldn't pass 500 subscribers, and by that point I was over 5,000. So it's a mind-blowing thing for me, but that's because I set my expectations very low. And that's a good thing to do too, because then you're just excited every single time you get more subscribers and things like that, because they're like, holy shit, I'm getting way more people than I ever expected. So keep your expectations realistic and be patient. And the very last piece of information I'm going to leave you guys with is make sure you're having fun while you're doing it. If any point in time you just realize, like, I'm just doing this to do it and I'm not enjoying it anymore and I feel like I have to do it, then change things up, because your audience is going to know your content is going to suffer when you're not enjoying what you're doing. You know, we all go through periods where, you know, I have times where I'm under the gun and I need to get videos out and I have so much to do, and personal things and work and stuff is all stressful. And, you know, it can be times where you're like, oh, okay, I got to get a video done. But if it's like that all the time and you're not truly enjoying the act of creating the video and all these things, you may want to look at the type of content or how you produce your videos, or, you know, you need to find the passion and find the love again, because that's ultimately what's going to make everything worth it. And you're doing this, you know, we all start YouTube channels for us basically as a hobby, as a way to connect with people, and your passion and your, you know, how your attitude and how you're feeling about it is going to transcend to your audience. And if you're miserable when you're doing it, chances are your audience is going to pick up on that. So anyways, guys, I hope I didn't make this video too long and too rambly, but for those of you that are interested in creating YouTube channels, or, you know, you already have one and you may know all this stuff, and that's great. But I just kind of wanted to let you guys know what I figured out for myself in the first year of doing YouTube, and just kind of impart that knowledge onto you guys. And if it helps you, I'm really glad. If not, thanks for watching the video anyways. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. Like I said, this hellhole of an office is going to be set up, and I'll have some a video that's kind of a vlog mixed with moving and getting the new setup going up probably in the next week or so. But thanks for sticking with me, guys. I know this move has been kind of a difficult time as far as getting content up on the channel, but I still wanted to do something for you guys. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.